Delicious.
Alright everyone, we are down in the studio. All of the Hot Pockets are cooked. It's very hot with the lights and all of the Hot Pocket goodness just radiating off of it. But we are here, everything is cooked. We are here to break down and rank these 8 Hot Pockets in a definitive ranking. If we jump over to the Hot Pocket cam, yes, we got a Hot Pocket cam. Let's break down and let's put a name on all of these different Hot Pockets. We have pepperoni and sausage, ham and cheddar, 5 cheese pizza, the meatball and mozzarella, chicken and broccoli, chicken pot pie, the barbecue beef, which I don't know too much about, I'm curious, and then lastly, the beef and cheddar Hot Pocket. We are going to be going through all of these, taking 1 to 2 different bites with water in between to get that taste out of our mouth, because we are Hot Pocket connoisseurs here. All of these look very delicious, and fun fact, when I went and bought these 8 different Hot Pockets, the people at the store definitely thought I was high, because how the sausage is made, this is being filmed on 420. So without further ado, let's get into number 1 with pepperoni pizza. Alright, so this pepperoni pizza one, this one was one of the few that didn't explode, so I'm very curious if this is gonna burn the hell out of my mouth or if it just got way too crispy. Alright, so we're gonna take a bite, and it might have to be 2 bites because we get the crust side here on the end, but I want some of the actual like filling. Okay. You got the mozzarella. You have the marinara. I think a little heavy on the marinara, to be honest. Oh, God. Okay. We were 1 Hot Pocket in, and I already burned my tongue. Wow. Jim Gaffigan is correct. Hot as lava, cold as ice. Even cooking these in the oven. I'm going to take 1 more bite because this one actually has some pepperoni in it. Hopefully, oh my gosh. Wow, this is not starting off great. I definitely burned the roof of my mouth. More marinara, more mozzarella. The pepperoni, I will say the pepperoni flavor, the pepperoni segments of this, very much lacking from the overall portrait of mouth flavors. All right, next up is the ham and cheddar one, and I'm going to cut this open first and let it cool a little bit before I get my water. I'm gonna say this, very flaky crust. And I know that I had mentioned in an earlier part of this, we weren't depending on the crust because there's the garlic buttery, there's the crispy croissant, there's a bunch of different kind of crusts. So I don't know if I can solely base this on the crust, but man, oh man, is this flaky, and I am going to have to vacuum after this. It looks good, it looks tasty. It reminds me of ham and cheddar sandwiches from middle school. Holy hell, this is smoking hot. All right, ham and cheddar, let's go. I will say, this one, not the outside crust, but the inside crust is moist, is delicious. That ham and cheese mixture is phenomenal. Honestly, this one is bringing me back to middle school when we had hot ham and cheese sandwiches all the time. I think this one would be perfect with some ketchup on the side. This one is phenomenal flavor so far. Didn't burn my mouth, or maybe my mouth is burnt off of all of the taste buds from earlier. Whoo, that definitely looks hot. It is steaming. Second bite, even better than the first bite. My face is probably all red because I am burning up like the Jonas Brothers right now. That was hot ham and cheese, or ham and cheddar, rather. That was number 2. I'm gonna take 1 more bite. Next up is now this 5 cheese pizza. And honestly, from what it looks like on the tray, if we go back to the first shot, about half of it exploded out of the side of it. I'm more of a fan of pizza with toppings, some sort of meat, some sort of vegetables potentially. So getting 5 cheeses in here, and I don't even know what kind of cheeses they threw in here. Obviously mozzarella and cheddar, but I'm curious what the 5 cheeses are, and how come they have a 4 cheese and a 5 cheese? Is there like a crowd of lactose intolerant people that are going for the 4 cheese because they want to have those bowel movements for the sake of the 4 cheese? I don't know. You cannot taste any difference between the cheeses. Obviously, from the coloring of the cheese, you can tell that there's multi layers of cheese in here. Definitely a cheese explosion going on in this one. Now, I think this one would taste the exact same as the first pepperoni pizza one, except that one has the garlic buttery crust, garlic crust. And I know I wasn't debating or ranking it on the crust, but yeah, these two, even though they're the same, they have drastic differences. All right, next up, we have the mozzarella and meatball, I believe. Let me check my notes while I'm getting a swig of water. Yes, the meatball and mozzarella. And I think that this one might have a little bit more of an overwhelming mozzarella, or not mozzarella, marinara flavor. I think it's meatball marinara, actually. All right, so we cut that open, mozzarella, meatball combo. I don't know where my knife and fork are. There actually is meatballs. I know that the pepperoni one was lacking a lot of meat, I would say, the pepperoni flavor. This one, I got a meatball or two in each one of these bites. So let's take our first bite of this mozzarella, meatball, and marinara. Generous meatball, I would say. Could be even generouser. Is that a word? More generous meatball. But the marinara, compared to the 5-cheese pizza and the pepperoni one, this marinara flavor is more, I wouldn't say overwhelming, but there's definitely more a significance of this flavor in this Hot Pocket. Mozzarella is holding it together, kind of the glue, the natural glue of the food world. The meatball is probably the best part, and this second bite actually has 2 meatballs. I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully that chewing is not ASMR to people, and if it is, I'll start a whole separate channel of chewing ASMR. Second bite, phenomenal compared to the second one, or first one, because I think this one had a couple more pieces of meatball in it, a little bit more flavor. The crust is delicious. This one is phenomenal. This one's a tasty one if you're looking out for, you know, a Hot Pocket to go get. You're a Hot Pocket connoisseur out there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it definitely burned part of my gums off. These next two are ones that I was a little cautious about because these are leaning almost into that lean pockets territory. We have the chicken and broccoli and cheddar, I believe. That's what we're doing right now. And then the chicken pot pie. So I'm curious if these chicken flavors, if the Hot Pockets people over there know what they're doing with chicken, I am going to be on board for this. But let's take our first bite of the chicken and broccoli. I will say, when you get a bite of the chicken, that is what you want in this one. But when you're getting kind of the broccoli and cheddar, those two alone, not great. But they definitely complement the chicken. And that piece I got in the first one, that was a hefty piece of chicken. I don't know if I have a piece of chicken in this second one. It looks like kind of like almost a chicken shred rather than an actual piece of chicken. I'm getting all 3 flavors again, but it's very much dulled down. It's not popping. There's nothing in that bite that's really like, whoa, this is chicken and broccoli and cheddar. This feels like the safe bet. And I think that honestly, the lean pockets, it's probably the exact same. They maybe crafted a little bit different, but it's the exact same Hot Pocket, lean pocket, whatever kind of pocket. Next up, like I said, we're getting almost into that like lean pockets territory. We have the chicken pot pie. Honestly, when I picked this one up, I straight up was like, this one right here, straight diarrhea. You should not be doing this with a Hot Pocket. But yes, they took, from what it looks like, every ingredient in the chicken pot pie, the gravy, the vegetables, the carrots, the chicken, and they just shoved it into a Hot Pocket. So let's check this one out. Definitely a Hot Pocket, definitely a pot pie. I would say there's something missing, and you know what it is? It is pepper. They need to throw some pepper in here. I was gonna say salt at first, but obviously this is preserved, this is frozen, there's definitely salt in this one, but a nice kick to this one that would enhance it, pepper. Throw some pepper in here. I hate to do it, but maybe even some hot sauce too. I'm a big hot sauce guy, but pepper, no doubt. The gravy notes are probably the best bet. Chicken, the vegetables, not so much. Missing pepper, but the gravy in this one, so obviously a pot pie, just shove the gravy in there. That's probably the best bet, or the best attribute of this one. Guess what? A little peek behind the curtain. We ran out of battery there, so had to go charge a battery quick. But next up, we are on the 7th of the 8 different, oh my gosh, I can't even cut this one. This one's tough. But we have the barbecue beef one. Growing up, this was one of my go-tos. I remember as a kid, always going and getting this one. The barbecue beef, which I don't know too much about. I'm curious, but let's get into, oh my gosh, indigestion. I don't even want to know what's going to happen to me later today or tomorrow after eating all of these. I'm sure that there's some barbecue beef purists out there. They really love this one. This one has a lot going for it. The barbecue sauce, the crust, the beef, but I don't think it does anything fantastic. The barbecue, I mean, there's thousands of barbecues out there, but for some reason, this is bringing me back to almost like middle school barbecue beef sandwich in the cafeteria. They never made it anywhere else. That's the only place that they have it. But the thing is, the beef in this one, looking at the packaging, sliced, you think it's gonna be phenomenal. This is very slimy. First bite, I'll say that's the first bite, but this is very slimy meat. And I don't think you want that in a Hot Pocket. A Hot Pocket is like a high-class delicacy, and you don't want slimy meat in that. That second bite, I didn't get as much meat as the first one, so I'm looking at the inside of this one, and it does have quite a bit of meat. I don't know. This one, the barbecue, I thought the barbecue would pop a little bit more, but it's not doing much for me. And last up, we have our final one, beef and cheddar, I believe. I think this one might be a special one or a limited edition one, but let's get our first bite, beef and cheddar. I'm wondering if it has the same beef from that barbecue one, but with a cheddar sauce instead. Okay. It doesn't have the same cheddar flavoring from any of the other ones that we had previously with cheddar in the name. Unfortunately, the beef is very underwhelming. It's not as slimy as the previous barbecue one, the barbecue beef one, but I don't think that there's anything jumping out at me on this one. Again, it has a different kind of crust. We're not basing it on crust. We're basing it on the total ensemble. And I'm definitely gonna need another bite. Nothing else jumped at me. Whatever I said on the first bite, the exact same thing happened on the second one. Nothing really jumps out at me. Okay, so that is it. We have tried all 8 different Hot Pockets that I got my hands on. I know some people out there are really in the comments right now saying that there's other Hot Pockets out there. Unfortunately, the store did not have those. We left Lean Pockets out, and we left the breakfast ones. We didn't include them. I'm sorry. Sorry for your breakfast fans out there. So I'm gonna take a quick minute, maybe 10 minutes, maybe a couple bathroom breaks, and we'll get back with the ranking. We are back with the final ranking, the final evaluation of these 8 different Hot Pockets, and obviously we'll throw it over to the screen, showing all of them one more time, and I will be throwing on the numbers of where I rank these Hot Pockets. So starting at number 8, I think number 8 is, it's gotta be the slimy beef, the barbecue beef sandwich one. That is number 8. Unfortunately, it just didn't do anything. The barbecue didn't really pop. It had a familiar flavor, but very slimy meat, and it just didn't feel like there was a pop in each and every bite. Number 7 is going to be the other beef one on the list, the beef and cheddar. Again, this one takes kind of the same beef from the barbecue beef, throws in cheddar. The cheddar doesn't blend with the beef that well. The beef ones really let me down because the pictures of these ones look phenomenal, and I will say, some people are saying that there's a Philly cheesesteak one out there. I should have gotten that one. I didn't see it at the store, but I very much want to try that one. Number 6 is going to be the 5-cheese pizza. It has 5 cheeses. It has the pizza, but I really want some sort of protein or substance in this one. I mean, I'm curious what the 4-cheese pizza does, or if it's just the exact same and they accidentally took it off the assembly line 1 cheese early. Number 5 is going to be a surprising one, the chicken pot pie. I really liked the gravy flavor. Again, it would have been phenomenal if they threw some pepper in there. It probably would have moved up a couple slots. But yes, the chicken pot pie definitely will hit the crowds of some chicken pot pie enthusiasts, or maybe all of those old people with chicken pot pies in their freezer for the last 25 years. Number 4, we're getting into the top 4. We have pepperoni and sausage pizza. Wait, oh yeah, pepperoni and sausage pizza. I misspoke. I guess that first one, I didn't see any sausage in that one, but I got a little hint of pepperoni, so I almost should have maybe knocked this one down a little further because it's just pepperoni and sausage and cheese and pizza. It's supposed to have all 3 of those different flavors, but yes, it had the flavors of pizza, but there was definitely something missing from it. Number 3, surprising one. I myself was surprised. You fans out there might be surprised. Chicken and broccoli. Chicken and broccoli. There was something about this one where the chicken was so good. It was. I'm not gonna say this word because it seems outlandish, but I think it was tender. It was juicy and tender chicken in this chicken and broccoli one with cheddar. The chicken was probably the best part of it, and then obviously the chicken or the cheddar and broccoli adding to that flavor. The top 2, meatball, mozzarella, and marinara. Again, I thought the marinara was a bit overwhelming. Different flavor from the other 2 kind of pizza-based ones ones that we talked about and tasted. Mozzarella the same. The meatball was the best part of this one. That's why it's hitting at the top, because the first bite, big old meatball. The second one, 2 more meatballs in that one. I'm a guy. I love making my meatballs. Yum. And hitting at the number 1 spot. This is one that I did not see coming. This might be an upset for some people, but ham and cheddar is number 1 in my book. This one was perfect. It was almost nostalgic, bringing me back to those school days of unwrapping a tinfoil oven-baked hot ham and cheese sandwich. Like, this one is not only the nostalgic side of it, but it was a very good flavor, a very tasty. Again, maybe throw a little pepper in there. Not as much as the chicken pot pie one. Ham and cheddar, you are the winner of the JBuck Live Best Hot Pocket, the definitive ranking of Hot Pockets, might I add. So ham and cheddar is my top ranking, is my number 1, is the winner. What did you guys think of this ranking? Are there some pivotal Hot Pocket flavors that I'm missing, maybe some limited flavors, or was I a little harsh on maybe the beef-based ones in this video? Let me know what your guys' favorite controversial take on the Hot Pockets in the comments down below. I'm really curious what you guys have to say, which ones I'm missing, and which ones did I completely botch in this ranking. But that is the Hot Pockets ranking, the 420 special, showing on 421. I don't know, scheduling conflicts and everything like that. But thank you guys for watching, and now roll the things, because we're getting back to JBuck Live. So I've been having a hard time sleeping, obviously. The Hot Pockets are kind of flying through me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this was kind of a bad idea. But something happened, and I honestly have no idea to explain this one. It might be easiest just to show you guys. Right.